The Evolution of Rap by Trina Mazzani Harris. Slide 1. You know it's funny when it rains, it pours. They got money for war, but can't feed the poor. Tupac. Tupac was one of the most influential hip hop rap artists of all times. He led the way for the rappers that came behind him. These lyrics are from his song Keep Your Head Up. It motivates me to not stop when things get hard. I listen to the songs when I'm going through a lot or when I feel discouraged. Slide 2. What is rap? Rap is a musical style in which rhyming speech is chanted to musical accompaniment. Some backing tracks may include samples. Hip hop music, also called rap music, is a genre of popular music developed in the United States by inner city African Americans and Latino Americans in the Bronx borough of New York City in the 1970s. Although rap music and hip hop music are often used interchangeably, rap music has a broader meaning. Slide 4. Places of origin. Rap has two basic points of origin, Jamaica and New York City. Although many people associate Jamaica only with reggae, the island has been profoundly influential on numerous forms of popular music, including rap. In the 1960s, Jamaican DJs playing and mixing records at big outdoor parties started picking up the microphones and yelling at the crowd to dance. This practice came to be called toasting, and it was the precursor to rap. Slide 5. Early pioneers of rap. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys were the first rappers to hit the scene. They were all young and from New York City, from the different boroughs like the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn. Slide 6. In the beginning, the late 80s saw the advent of gangster rap with lyrics that were often misogynistic or that glamorized violence and drug dealing. This carried on into the 90s and grew to become even more popular. Earlier hip hop music has a distinct tone with a relatively consistent theme of hood politics, a term referenced by Nas in his 2002 hit One Mic. Meanwhile, the artists themselves maintain strict gangster personas. Most of the genre's biggest names was the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z were known drug dealers, and many were convicted criminals. Slide 7. Lyrics and flows. The most striking difference between the 90s hip hop and more modern tracks is the lyrics. In general, hip hop in the previous decade had a relatively narrow focus. Songs were less about an artist's success and more about his or her rise to it. Even though some of the messages were hardcore and were considered negative, the artists were relating to their backgrounds and upbringing, which made the lyrics more authentic. Slide 8. Impact of social media. Before the social media movement, an artist's sole means of establishing a fan base was to capture the attention of a record label. With only a few major labels in the business, this reliance on agents contribute to the streamlined message seen in the 90s rap lyrics. Today, however, emerging rap artists like Miles from Nothing says, "We're in an era where artists don't need agents. If they know how to use sites like SoundCloud and YouTube, they can get themselves out there." Ramirez agreed, admitting that in many respects, social media outlets have replaced the function of A&R scouts, who ordinarily are responsible for recruiting artists to different record labels. Slide 9. Underground and mainstream music. Both underground and mainstream music surround people somehow, but their way of appearance and a few other bullet points are different. Mainstream music production is led by major record labels who promote new talents through big radio stations, creating artificial trends resulting in fading identities among artists by doing everything for selling business. Mainstream artists today's rap lacks traits that will make them equivalent to those who once held the throne before them. Underground record release happens through independent labels and or internet radio stream, podcasts, blogs, and pirate station. Creativity, style, own ideas and visions and dignity remain in musicians this way, despite the hard struggles in life. Slide 10. Underground music continued. The beauty of underground music is that people who appreciate it are the people who do not conform to trends. These people listen to a song and appreciate it for what it is, not because the media told them they should. However, the most the important thing to remember is that music should be appreciated due to the artist's expression of the music and not because of the song or the artist has been thoroughly commercialized. Concluding. Slide 11. With the evolution of the internet and social media, it has changed how rappers position and promote themselves in the industry versus hoping to get scouted by major labels. Moreover, the history of rap music has changed from the style that the parents of today's millennium grew up on. The message of the 90s carried a more real and honest energy. Songs like Public Enemy 911 is a Joke and Nas One Love spoke to social issues that face the African American community. Now it seems that rappers will say anything and whatever that's popular to get a rise out of people without having a real point. Most of the rap music today is only about who is better and who has the most money, cars or women. Of course, with every claim, there's an exception. This current debate does have a few mainstream rappers who use their platform for social awareness. Two examples are Common and Kendrick Lamar. However, this is the exception and not the norm. It does indicate, however, that rap is on the cusp of a real spiritual awakening, and I believe that consciousness rap will become even more mainstream in the next 10 years. It is any wonder what the future will hold.